I'm Alise.
I'm Chloe.
And welcome to the Cool Down Room. It's race week, and apparently we're very distracted today, but let's talk about the Belgian Grand Prix,
Can you
aka
hear that?
Spa.
Can you
Hear
hear
what?
that?
Hear
Oh,
what?
there's a water helicopter flying over my house to go to the
Oh, I
wildfires
can't
right
hear
now.
that. I
Okay,
say
good.
we're distracted as if I'm not the one who took us down this path. I have like the air conditioner running because my room gets really fucking hot.
Oh yeah, no, so does
Um,
mine, but I don't have AC, so
I, girl, get like a portable AC unit, please. You're gonna get heat stroke.
yeah, it's fine. It's not that bad downstairs. It's just my room, really.
Okay.
Anyway,
Anyway, yeah, slightly
no,
more
I was wondering if
depressing
you could hear
topics.
that because the helicopters fly really low and they're really, really loud. And so I was like, uh-oh. But it apparently you can't. Anyway,
Yeah.
okay, so it's Spa, which means that all the drivers pay their respect to Antoine Hubert, which is a French F2 driver who died on the Spa track in 2019, and then a Dutch F2 driver, Delano van Toff, I think is how you say that,
Van
who
Hoff?
also died at Spa. Yeah,
Yeah.
in 2023. And Pierre was like very close family friends with Antoine Hubert, so it's a
He
big
sets
deal to
up the
him.
whole thing.
But
He
all of
sets up
them,
all of
or all the
that.
drivers who are there,
Yeah.
go the day before media day and like walk to the corner and put flowers. It happens every year. I feel like if you've
It
been
happens
following us,
every
it
year.
happened last year too. So like,
Yeah, it happened
if you've been
last year
listening,
too, and I got really mad because people were calling the run for Antoine like the Sunny Hayes effect on Twitter, and I was like, "You will see me in your
no,
fucking nightmares." I'm trying to swear less, and it's not going well.
yeah,
Um, but
Lando's,
yeah, no, Pierre organizes it every year. He's been doing it since he joined Alpine. So
yeah,
like it's people at one point, people on Twitter or whatever were like, "Oh, Alpine did this." I'm like, "No, Pierre did this.
no,
Pierre
it's not
started this.
Pierre.
Alpine is the one is like the reason it can happen because they can like set it all up and have the facilities to do
There's
that." But like,
also this is the closest thing to a home race for Pierre, Isaac, and Esteban because it's the
they're
closest
all
country to
French.
France.
Yep, which is like
Anyway,
crazy. We should have more home races. I would enjoy a France home race, like a
I'm
France race.
surprised they don't have one.
I'm
I'm like
surprised they
actually
don't have one.
surprised.
And I know that this is insane, but a race around Versailles would be beautiful.
I've always said the streets of Paris because they're fucking confusing.
Yeah. They're confusing or like
There's
just
some
like in
tight
the
corners in there.
countryside. I'm not
Yeah.
for like the destruction of wildlife and everything, but like I'm not for that. I don't approve of that. However, a race in the French countryside would be beautiful.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Lando started this weekend with a 10 place grid penalty. Elise texted me this when I was at work and I got audibly upset. I was like, my coworker said what's wrong, and then I was like, I don't feel like explaining it to you because I know you wouldn't get it because she doesn't follow F1. But it was really funny because I get it was really quiet in the bookstore and I gasped out
yep.
loud and then went bruh like that.
I feel so I felt so bad for him
Yeah.
because it's and can we be for real? The only reason he had that is because these
Wait,
power units suck.
we said some important stuff, but like honestly, we didn't even get into FP1, so it's fine.
We
Um,
yeah. Oh, I just wanted to call it Esteban Spider-Man brand new day
it's
helmet.
so cute.
That's Esteban Ocon,
George
please.
lurking in the
Silly
corner is
season
killing me.
episode. George in the corner. He's there for a reason, okay? And he is there for a big reason. I'm raging about this weekend if you can't tell. But
Yeah.
Esteban Ocon, please give me a silly season where we just nerd out. Just let
Yeah.
me presentation night and it's me with the Bucky Barnes presentation.
Yeah.
Presentation night, but it's both of us with the F1 drivers of our with two drivers of our choosing.
Yeah. Also, I'm gonna add, last year, we did the summer in a completely different format where we like alternated. And so I did the Belgian Grand Prix all by myself in my parents' closet, which is way warmer than my room is right now, which is kind of like unbearable. I remember like sweating my ass off just and then my mom like knocked on the door halfway through. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was the first race after Christian Horner was fired. And so I was trying to do Elise's text messages justice. And I don't think I did a good job. And then the
It was
next
really
week
funny.
in Elise's episode, she also like recapped it. So
Yeah,
if you listen to those
I
episodes,
was really hyped about that, and now
you
he
get
might come
like
back.
two different, completely different sides of how we felt about that. But I was just reading Elise's text pack, and then she did it more in depth. But I thought that was really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And can I say one thing
Hmm.
that I just had an idea for? Silly season, and it's Esteban and I giving you and Ollie a presentation on all the Spider-Man lore. Because Ollie's never seen any of the
I'd be
Spider-Man
down.
movies.
That's crazy. Even
That'd
I've
be
seen the
funny as
Spider-Man
fuck, though.
movies. Yeah. Also,
Boss,
okay.
hit us up. We're free. I will make time. I will fake sick at work.
Um,
Jeffrey, if you're listening, my manager, if you're listening to this, I'd never said that. That's a joke.
okay. If anyone's ever wondering where I get my silly little fun facts about the drivers, where Elisa's like, "Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't see that." It's one singular Instagram account that posts them.
Go on.
The tag is Remain in Rows, and they do all of the silly moments that happen during the race weekends. None of it's serious, but she does it day by day.
I
So
should follow her.
you should. Starting on media day, she breaks down every little silly thing that happened and puts it into an edit, and that's where I get all of it from. So go follow
That would be
that
so
account.
helpful for me because
It's really
I'm
helpful.
losing it trying to like I'm like I feel like I really do need to actually start watching like the media runs because I normally don't. Like I just see the clips on TikTok,
Yeah.
but oh my God.
Anyway, the at is at remain underscore in underscore rows. So that's
Yeah.
what it is. Anyway,
Anyway,
FP1. George's
George is
tires are
already
fighting.
having problems.
Speaking of, he's just lurking in your corner, staring into the camera.
He remains here now. This is his home now, so that he's in the shot every time we do a Zoom like this.
Yeah. Prior to this comment from George, which was like halfway through, literally nothing happened for me,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Um,
Yeah,
Liam Lawson Drift Racer.
I
He
could see
drifted
it.
like twice in FP1, and the first time they go, "Oh, Lawson," and I was like, "What the fuck, guys? That's
I can
fucking
see him.
it."
Is this like wrong to say that I can see him more as a drift racer than I can as an F1 driver? And maybe that's just because he spent so much time in the States that now I
Maybe
just kind of perceive him as like somewhat American, even though he's very not.
someone in I don't know why it's not there anymore, but somebody in one of the comments on like that reel that we posted where we were like Liam is like a surfer bro now was like,
Hmm.
"Oh, like is that not like a thing everywhere?" And I was like, "I don't know, maybe it's because I'm from California, but he reminds me so inherently of like all of the every California surfer dude I've ever met in
Yeah.
my life."
I don't
And
even live in California, and I agree with that statement.
yeah, he just embodies it in a big way. It's just like the energy that he has, and I do actually kind of love that about him.
Yeah. Um, Juan Pablo is back. If you don't know who
I
that
love
is,
you, Juan Pablo.
he's a former F1 driver who is now a commentator for F1 TV. He's amazing at his job and he has so much joy and passion
Yeah.
for F1. You could feel it
Yeah.
through the camera.
It's
And
not
unlike the other
even
commentators, like you actually get to see him on screen and the energy he exudes is
so
like it's
it's
top
so
tier.
nice.
He gets so
It's
excited. He's like kid in a candy store at those
yeah.
races.
He gets so excited and it makes me excited. Like I wish that we could see not necessarily see the commentators on occasion, but like during like the free practices when nothing is happening, or
Hmm.
like give me a little like side screen where they're when they get excited because I think it's so fun and I think it ups the energy a lot.
Yeah.
But
The
when they
cars were
get
going.
excited, I do get more excited.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, there's a massive, massive hill on the spa track. It's like very famous. And they go really, really, really fast up the hill and then really, really, really fast down the hill. And the cars were going so fast around the corner up the hill that the Pirelli logo on the tires was rubbing off onto the track and making it look yellow, like leaving
Which
yellow
is
marks.
hilarious.
And that's what Juan Pablo was talking about.
Yeah. He was talking
Yeah.
about that and it was really funny.
He's like, the track
Um,
is yellow. And then the commentators were like, guess that's that Pirelli logo.
yeah, just coming off as it does. It'd be really funny if in their wake you just see a perfect imprint of the
That
Pirelli
would be
logo
so
left
funny.
behind them on track
I
before
want like
it
a camera
immediately
zoom
gets
in
run
of
over by
that.
another car. Um,
Yeah.
a fair
I'm
few
still thinking
people.
about that person whose umbrella went onto the
Oh
track
my
in
God,
Silverstone. I
that
just like
shit was so funny.
that's like my worst nightmare because I get like I don't know, I get FOMO, but also I get embarrassed really easily. And so if somebody was like I try not to get embarrassed. Like I try to avoid it at all costs and like not say stupid shit. But like if that was me, I would never show my face in public again. I would like have an
Okay,
identity crisis.
speaking of the marshals, one of the marshals, I don't know which date this was on. One of them, I forgot to put in the notes. One of the marshals proposed to a different marshal, like at the during one of the sessions,
That's
and it
crazy.
was the cutest thing ever. And it was like they like all had little, a bunch of the marshals all had little signs. It might have been during one of the
Aw.
feature races or something, but they all had like little signs spelling out like "Will you marry me?" And then they got engaged at the race as they were both like marshals,
That's so
which is
cute.
so cute.
Also, last weekend
And
I didn't
yeah,
mention this, but F1 because like 98% of British of F1 content creators are British. P1 Matt and Tommy were there. And one of them has like a 4-year-old daughter that he brought, and he gave her a camera, like a little kid's camera, and then let
Oh
her
my
like walk around
gosh.
taking photos. And then he like made a reel of like all the photos that she took. Girl was pulling photos because they were on the like grandstand. They
Mhm.
didn't get like VIP passes or anything. And she took like the best photo of a McLaren I've seen in like a minute with a camera meant for 4-year-olds. It's like through the fence and you could like see the
Oh,
car like perfectly. I was like, how did she do that? Anyway,
icon in Prodigy. Okay.
no,
Um,
right? Anyway,
anyway. Oh, people keep getting their track times deleted, like
yeah.
during free practice, and I swear to God, this was not a rule last year.
I don't know why we
Somebody
do it during
needs
free
to
practices. It doesn't make
somebody
sense.
somebody needs to make me like an audio book of the rule book so that I can like listen to
Yeah.
it while I'm crocheting like the crotchety grandma that I am. And I
You
know it
need to
changes a
get,
lot.
you need to, I feel like I said this last week, you or the last race, you should buy the book that you got me for Christmas because it does a pretty good job of explaining the rules without having to watch Drive to Survive.
Yeah, I
Because Bill
refuse to
Buxton
watch
wrote the
it.
book you got me. So,
Oh, I didn't know that. Live, laugh, love,
mhm.
Will Buxton. Isn't he
I,
gay?
no,
Isn't
I
he the
don't
gay
think
one?
so.
I swear to
No.
God. Hang on. I
He's the one
swear.
they all make fun of because he says things that are really redundant. So he'll be like, if you finish pole at qualifying, that means you get first place, which means you start at the
No,
beginning. And
he's
it's just
not.
like he says like redundancies that everybody makes fun of him for. He's like number one memeable F1 commentator, in my opinion.
Oh, it's Christian Hugo.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
hosts Fast and the Curious. That's what it is.
Anyway,
Anyway,
um,
I love gay people.
Kimmy and his Italian hand gestures when he was upset about Carlos. I would be scared to take my hand off the wheel personally, even if it's FP1. And he's over here
Right.
like casting a spell.
When I first started driving my actual car, I was like two hands on the wheel at all times, in
Yeah.
part because my armrest is broken, but that's neither here nor there. But like I was so scared to take it off,
Yeah.
and
But then
there's so
right
much
after
money.
that, Kimmy called Carlos an idiot, which, okay, Miss Girl, calm down. We're in FP1. You're
Also,
fine.
like, and can I just say, Carlos then like went into media and stuff and was like, "Oh, like he shouldn't have said that. Like he should be calmer, like when he's in the car, whatever." Dog, you called Yuki an idiot. Like, come on. We
Girl's just
all say
mad.
it. We all say you should do never mic me up when I'm in a go-kart because I get road rage like none other. Okay? We all do it.
Yeah.
We all do it. It's fine. It's not that deep, my guy.
Yeah. I said it once and I said it before. If Kimmy's flying lap, if the one that the commentators are talking about is the most important thing happening, why is it not on the big picture?
This is my biggest pet peeve. Like in the F1
It's really
commentating,
getting to me because I
it
feel like last year I didn't know enough about F1 to like care or like, oh, I'd just be like, whatever. Now it drives me up the wall. If you're talking, and that's not the commentator's fault, that's the camera operator's
that's
fault.
the camera operators and that is whoever is directing this. Like what are
If
we
you're
doing?
talking about Kimmy having a great flying lap, why are you showing Max? Just
Why
why?
why am I looking at Max?
Why are they like, oh, he's in the bottom left-hand corner in this tiny little picture? Nobody's gonna look at that.
Nobody's looking. I'm
Anyway,
sorry, no one's looking.
Carlos
Um,
said something that we kind of tried to decipher together like a puzzle because I heard what a mess they are pushing.
yeah. I got what a mess. They are pushing last corner gearbox in that order and absolutely nothing else. It is impossible to decipher what they're saying, like on the radio. I can't understand when people use walkie-talkies on a good day, but
Yeah.
with them talking that fast and also the fact that not a single one of them is American anymore, like it's easier to understand your own accent,
Hmm.
you know?
Yeah.
Like I have that anybody who ever has an accent. Like you ever watched a video of Louis Tomlinson talking?
Oh my
And when
gosh.
he
We
starts
saw
talking
him in
really fast, I'm
concert
like, Louis,
and he was
please.
like, we're in the pit, like really close. And he's talking to the audience and Elise, and I just go,
What?
what?
It
Because
is
like my mom's Southern, and so I can understand the deepest of Southern accents because I grew up going to see her family every year. But people who are from like Montana, they have a really weird accent. Can't understand that. They have different dialect. It's really funny. But like there are certain accents where like I can't hear what you're
I can
saying. Southern is not one of them.
I can
But
barely
like
understand a New Jersey accent. Like
That's
And
funny.
the British ones are not helping
British.
me at all. Like this, the Spanish accents are also not great for me. Not a sing the French. Oh my God, Isaac, when they don't have like
Oh
the
my
the
God. When
transcript.
they don't have the transcript, what did he? That's what they
What
did with
are you
Carlos. What did he
saying? It's just because I am
say?
also convinced
Confused
that I
in
have like
American.
yeah, I'm a stupid American, but also like I'm convinced that I have like auditory processing issues, probably as a
Yeah.
result of being super ADHD. And so I think like that's probably part of it, but also like walkie-talkies, like and the radios, the audio quality is already bad.
Yeah.
It's always going to be bad and the accents just make it worse. I'm sorry. It's the truth.
Yeah.
Um
Anyway,
yeah, but anyway, Carlos got noted for crossing the line at pit entry because he swerved and
yeah.
like he like swerved and crossed the line but then didn't go into the pit, which you're not allowed to do. He had to like rank it back over the gravel.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means. Rank it? What am I saying? But like flip it in the California saying flip a bitch, like
Yeah.
over the grass and back onto the main road and they were like, "Hey, you're not allowed to do that. You have to go into the pit." And so he got
hmm
noted.
Lance went over the curb so hard, part of his car came loose and it was like flapping around everywhere, so he had to go into the pits.
Yeah.
Um, stop the Oscar's engineer told him to stop the car because they had an issue, and Oscar was like, "What?" And he like pulled off to the side for a minute, and then apparently his car just worked again because then he went back and the commentators were fully talking about something else. And then he came back on the track, and one of them was like, "Oh, hello,
All right.
hello."
Hell yeah. Okay, like guess your back, bud. And nobody knows why
Yeah.
that happened.
Anyway,
Um
FP2, because why are free practice more interesting than quali? We'll never know. Um,
I would anytime it was at like 8 a.m. or whatever, or like not 3:30 in the morning, I would like put a session on and then I would stay laying down so I would instantly fall back asleep. Like I was trying, it did not work. Um,
yeah, and I was out of town the entire weekend, so I actually didn't watch anything and did all of my notes on Friday and yesterday night.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I will say this. FP1 and 2 highlights were both 10 minutes each, and then the race highlights were 7 minutes. 8 minutes actually. I don't know why,
the
but
race was boring.
yeah.
That's why.
Um,
Like I was like literally nothing's happening.
the bus
Um,
stop is a chicane. I have so many notes about that because I think it's so funny that they call it a bus stop. Um, so every time they like say like, "Oh, and he's passing the bus stop, he's approaching the bus stop," it's kind of funny.
it's funny.
It's like
I
how it's like the spoon corner in oh my God, in Suzuka.
yeah.
And they're like, "And
It's
around
like
the spoon he goes."
it's like you know in Cars where like he's inside there's like the big truck and then Lightning McQueen like goes inside the big truck.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like that. Like I'm
Mhm.
just picturing all of their little cars lining up for the bus stop and getting onto a big bus with the other Formula One cars. And they all take their helmets off and they're all chatting.
Yeah.
Um
Anyway,
anyway, and oh my God. And one of the times Ollie like completes a lap and the commentators go, and Behrman's first effort puts him behind Hamilton who had the error. I was like, please don't say that. Please don't remind me that like
yeah.
he's behind the guy who screwed up a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
don't say that to me.
Um, Carlos got mad at Checo because he got super close to him. And they were showing this camera on like the back of the cars that's like underneath the brake light or like right by the brake lights. And it's very cool. I'm a big fan of that camera angle.
It does
Because when
make
they're
me a
going,
little nauseous, to
oh
be
yeah,
quite
when
honest.
they're going up and down that hill and spa, it really shows you how steep that hill is.
I do get motion sick though. So the
Yeah,
front
me
ones
too.
are okay, but all those the ones where like it's on the very back and then it like pulls you backwards kind of or like that's the vision
Yeah.
that you get because you're seeing the back like the back of the car. That makes me so motion sick. Um but yeah,
Anyway,
the cameras on the car are fun, but not when they're
the
going
amount
backwards.
if we had a dollar for every time there was a red flag or yellow flag because of gravel on track this weekend, we would like almost have a dollar or almost have $10.
We would if we hang on. If
I
we
said if
had
we
a
had a dime
dollar,
every
we would almost have a dollar.
almost have I said a dime and then I said no wait, a dollar because that makes more sense. We would almost have $10, which I feel
I
like
think
is a
we would
lot.
have much more than $10. We would have not very much money, but we would have I think more than $10 because I don't
It's
think they
like the
showed every yellow flag.
yeah. It's like I would have
They probably
$2, which isn't that much, but it's weird
that
that it happened
it's been
twice.
twice. It's to be fair, they did say they were gonna do this. They were like, hey, basically like Spa is such a fast circuit that they had to get the gravel out of the way literally anytime it was on track because it's one of those tracks where like the gravel is a huge problem, especially because of that
Yeah.
really steep hill. So they were doing this the entire weekend.
Yeah.
Um, and every once in a while you just hear red flag, yellow flag
Yeah.
because of the debris
Yeah.
and they would just be like, and we're back again.
I learned a really fun fact that this weekend, and that is that if you watch German F1 commentary, nothing is bleeped, and all of the radios, all of them, are broadcast. And
Are
so,
we? Oh, what are we talking about? Because I have this saved for later. I have a screen recording.
so in this, okay, the example I have is that Max was complaining about his car, right? And they're bleeped in the script and they're bleeped on F1 TV and Sky Sports and stuff. But then I saw an edit like yesterday that was George during the race, which we'll get to. And it is
Oh,
after
oh, we're gonna get to it. I have
you'll
this
see,
screen recorded so I can play it for you.
but
We're gonna get to it.
it's not bleeped and it's like the full extended radio up until he exits. Like it's everything.
Yeah.
And they broadcast all of it. So it's the only like country that does that apparently. Because
I'm
they're
gonna
German.
start. I'm gonna learn German. I'm gonna learn
Anyway,
German, which is a notoriously hard language, and I'm not very good at languages. And I am going to start watching the German broadcast. That's what I'm gonna do.
yeah.
Um,
Juan Pablo was standing at the corner talking about how all the engines sound different, which like thanks, baby girl, we knew that. But then he was talking about how the Audi's engine is so loud that it sounds like something is broken compared to the other cars.
which
Like
like
the Audi went around and his face just went from like smiling because he's always like beaming, and then he was
yeah,
just like,
he
"Damn,
was
who
shocked
was
and
that?"
concerned. He was shocked and concerned actually.
There's a new commentator. His voice is really low. I don't know who it is. I don't like it.
I have no idea who it is. Like I didn't hear a name, but I like him. I like him because he was explaining a lot of the like technical stuff. He was explaining like why the engines sound different or something like that. Because it's because of like the order in which the cylinders fire, I guess,
Yeah,
is like different between teams. But he was explaining all that. I was like, stay here, stay, tell me everything. Let's
yeah.
dish. Tell me everything you know, please. Um,
George drove himself into the pits, and as he was doing that, he was giving his team like a breakdown of everything that was going wrong. So he said the rears felt too cold, sliding around a lot, but not like 1.2 seconds cold.
which is deeply specific. George, I love you. Never
Yeah.
change. Um,
Um, Pierre lost his full rear wing, and the debris went everywhere,
yeah.
which made a red
Um,
flag.
yeah. Red flag, and he like when we say everywhere, he hit the barricade and did a 360. So it like
So the
spun
debris
off
just
the
like
car a little bit. Um, and
I've never
Pierre
seen an F1 car completely without just their rear wing. It looks so weird.
looks so weird. But he goes, just absolutely lost it out of nowhere. I must have lost the rear. As you can see his rear wing behind him looking like roadkill. Like,
And he's like, I think I must have lost the rear. Really?
really? I know that Pierre means that like he lost control of his like rear tires and everything, but
But
it's
still,
so funny
yeah,
that he said that and you could just see his roadkill looking rear wing
yeah.
in on the ground behind him.
Anyway, FP3.
FP3.
The commentators right off the bat. This is my favorite sequence, but it's not Pierre Gasly's favorite sequence after yesterday.
And you know what? They're correct, actually.
We already talked about the bus stop, but this is where I got really confused because they'd be like, and there he goes to the bus stop. And I was like, what are we talking
What are we
about?
talking about? Hearing Checo's car scrape itself on the ground, I like made a face of absolute disgust.
I went I was like, it's like nails on a chalkboard. It's god awful. Um,
I want to read this in succession because it's really funny. Isaac,
yeah.
why are you stopped right after the pit lane control line? No power, that's why. He stalled. He just slowed and stopped. He just conked out.
Conked out is such a Southern thing. I
Conked
feel
out
like
is
adding that.
funny. I think the commentators are hilarious.
Hannah made a grimace when he almost made contact with someone, and it like panned the camera to her. For those of you who don't know, Hannah is the head Red Bull engineer, and she was like
She's
this.
a queen.
She
She's
was
amazing.
like,
You
she was
could
like,
see her face
eh.
was so I was like, girl, you're so real for that because
No,
I
for
too
real.
make like the most disgusted faces
And
when
then
something
Isaac
goes wrong.
said, and then Isaac said, nothing is ready. Everything is too cold. Everything is just, yeah.
Um, oh, heading to turn one and goodbye. Kimmy
Say
like didn't get
goodbye.
his gear in, so he had to like abort his flying lap, but he started it and they were like, yay! Oh, never mind.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
that's kind of
um,
funny.
yeah. And then Lewis clipped the wall, so there was a yell flag for debris because he like snapped, went into the gravel, and then hit his back right something. It looked like his tire,
Yeah.
but debris just goes flying. So
Yeah. And
that
his
screwed him.
his right back tire was hanging on for dear life.
Yeah, it was not great. And they were sincerely worried about him like being able to do quali because of the damage, but he got in, so it was fine.
I think this might be the least amount of notes we've ever had for quali.
No, me
Um,
too. There's
I
like
mean,
nothing there.
Q1, there's like two notes.
There's two notes, and it's we just need to give you a better car. Alex Albin, one day you will get what you deserve. You will get
Yeah.
the car that you deserve. Um,
And Esteban was so sad when he didn't make Q2, which made me so sad because he's wearing his Spider-Man helmet.
wearing a Spider-Man
But he's
helmet.
also wearing it for Hungary next week.
Oh,
There's an
probably because it opens so soon. Like it literally
yeah.
opens
Well, and
the
also he did an interview with
Friday of
Tom
Hungary.
Holland right before, which I don't know how Tom fit that into his schedule with the Odyssey, but he was talking, he like showed Tom the helmet and then he was like, it was for Sony Pictures France. And then
Yeah,
he was like, when are you wearing this? And he was like, for Spa and for Hungary.
yeah.
So,
Which is vibey.
yeah.
And also Hungary?
Yeah. Next week's Hungary.
Next week
Budapest?
is Hungary. Oh, because there's not a race weekend on the weekend that it opens.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm seeing it on July
Q2.
30th. I
Yeah.
am gonna be sat in that theater. Anyway,
Q2. I had a
you
note
too.
that was starting, definitely forgot what I was writing for that, and then just stopped, or it wasn't interesting enough.
Arvid was in P3 for a second, and it made me so happy for
I
him.
would love to see that man on a podium.
Please.
Um, Also, Kimmy said the ballots came together much nicer this time, which I was
Because
like,
Kimmy
okay.
gets whatever he wants. Because
Uh-huh.
Toto thinks the sun shines out of his ass. Which is, and you know what? I'm right. Toto Wolff
Yeah.
thinks that Kimmy Antonelli is the second coming of Christ, and we should say it more. Um, Lewis with a steering wheel change, and they were like changing it, and then he like got out of the car, and they were like, he doesn't have to get out of the car for that. Like
I had a note there, then I deleted it. I said maybe he had to go to the bathroom.
maybe. And you know what? That's valid. Like all of the drivers, there was like a they did this with I want to say it was either NASCAR or IndyCar too, but I think F1 did this where it was one of those like red flag or green flag things. And it was like because they can technically go to the bathroom in the car. But
Hmm.
most drivers literally go to the bathroom like the second before the race and then
Oh
the
yeah.
second before they get in the car and then they hop in. And because they do like drink fluids during the race.
Yeah.
So by the end of it, they have to pee really bad. And I just can't even imagine.
No, me
Like I would
neither.
rather that's so him like hopping out of the car to pee is valid. Like that's what I would do. Anyway,
That
um
was crazy.
Hulkenberg can't make it. That's consistent. Yes.
Clocked.
Oh my gosh. And then Nico had a hydraulic leak at the very end of Q2 and they had to stop the car. So,
It was
I
really
mean, are
awkward.
they wrong? No. Do they
Yeah.
need to say it? Also, no.
He was just sat on the side of the curb, like right by the finish line, and it was really awkward.
Um,
Anyway, Q3.
I woke up, I will say I did wake up at the very end of like Q2 and I was like, why is Q3 delayed? Like, or like they were like right in the in between. I was like, why is that delayed? And now I know. It's because
Yeah.
Nico had a problem and had to get dragged off track. Um,
Gabby in
Q3,
Q3.
Gabby
Let's
got into
go.
Q3. My guy, Gabby Bortoletto, I love you. Anyway, Isaac did have a 5 place grid penalty by the end of it.
Yeah.
Because
Kimmy Dad's birthday was on Quali, and he was
yeah,
there. So
yeah.
that's fun.
At the
Um,
end of it, when Kimmy got pulled, the commentators were like, "Oh, like and like," or no, I think his engineer Bono was like, "Oh, like and like that's like a nice present for the old man or something," and he was like, "Oh yeah, like
yeah.
happy birthday, Dad."
Um, George's engineer told him that all of the time loss he had, because I don't remember where he finished, like P4 or something, was turn 14 and then the runner turned 18. And then George responded
Wrong!
so fast and so British, I could not for the life of me decode what he was saying because they didn't transcribe it.
It's also, I'm sorry, but his engineer is wrong. He's losing speed in the straights like he's been saying for 2 weeks. It's fine. It's fine. We're gonna get to it.
Max was in pole for literally 2 seconds at the very end, and then Kimmy crossed the finish line, and the commentators were like, "Well, uh, okay, never mind."
Kimmy Pole, clap if you're
Clap if
shocked.
you're shocked. That was crazy. That was
But
like perfectly in time.
yeah, but
Clip that. Clip that.
yeah. Gabby and
Yeah.
P9.
Right after or before quali, Lando told a wasp to fuck off during fan zone. This is where I get all of my silly notes from that one account. This is from
Yep.
that video.
Icon.
Race highlights were 2 minutes shorter than quali and FP highlights,
It's because
which
of
I feel like it should be the opposite. But also, I feel like I should mention. I feel like I should mention that Spa is the longest of any race course, so the course or the race is only 44 laps because the course is so long. It's just a fun fact.
Just a fun fact. Um. Anyway, Lando's grid penalty put him in P13, and Isaac had a penalty that put him quite literally at the back, like
Yeah.
starting from the pits, I think. Oh no, I think he started from just like P22, but
Yeah.
okay. Kimmy, oh, okay. At the like very, I think before they even started, Kimmy points at Max, and then Max pointed at Kimmy because they were like P1 and 2 on the grid, on the starting grid. And I didn't even see them do it, but I was like, this is giving. No, I saw them do it because I was watching it live. It was very much giving like Troy and Gabriella at the start of High School Musical 2.
I
Okay,
have no idea what you're talking about because I was thinking of the Spider-Man meme where it's like three Spider-Men and they're all going like that. I had
okay.
no idea what you were
So at
talking
the
about, and
beginning,
I've watched that movie so much, so I'm like genuinely confused.
okay, so at the beginning of High School Musical 2, um, they start by singing a song on the basketball court, right? They sing What Time Is It? And they're like on the basketball court and they're like playing a game, right? They're playing the
I
basketball.
think you're confused.
No, this
The
is
second one is Summer. The
no,
third one starts
it
on the
is.
basketball
It
court.
is summer. No, the second one starts on the basketball court.
The third one is when they're like getting out of school for the summer and
No,
they're like dancing through the
oh my
hallways.
God, no, you're right. Okay, then it's the third one. It's High School Musical
Yes,
3 senior year.
now I know what you're
Okay.
talking about.
Right. And they're on they're singing the song about how like it's their last game and like it's all on the line because it's their senior year, whatever, right? The athlete bullshit.
Can we like clip it over
And
because she stands up and she's like, try.
yes. And
Yeah,
they
that.
like flip all of them, and then she stands up in this sea of like the letters and like the flipped over boards or whatever that are different colors. And then she like sings to him, and he like looks at her, and he's like, "Oh my God!" And then he makes the shot, and then they win the game.
We need to clip that. Like put it
And
over what we just said because it's
but
you're
it
so
just
right.
reminded me of that in a big way.
I was really confused at first and I was like, High School Musical 2, what is she talking about?
That's because I was
Now
wrong.
I
It's
get
because
it.
it's High School Musical 3 senior
Now
year.
I get it. It's like, yeah, that's
Yeah.
perfect. Okay, anyway.
I've been watching, by the way, I've been watching a lot of Phineas and Ferb lately. And for whatever reason, I can't remember her name right now, but the woman who played Sharpay Evans, girl, I love you because she also voiced
Ashley
Candace.
Tisdale?
Ashley Tisdale. Ashley Tisdale, I love you so much. You're incredible. Anyway, um,
Yeah.
lap one. They start, the lights go out. I out loud said, "Hey, Kimmy actually had a good start for once." Immediately before he was overtaken by Max.
Karma is a bitch.
I just willed it into existence. Kimmy, I'm so sorry.
You
Uh,
did take the place back, but that's actually really funny. Um,
okay. Now we're gonna talk about George.
as he
Toto
stares
Wolf,
into the camera.
Toto Wolf, you're gonna see me in your nightmares in a big way. That's a joke, but is it? Okay. So George and Lewis make contact. It's turn 6, lap 1. Okay, I cannot
Yeah.
stress to you enough that this was lap 1 of the race. He is in the gravel. There's the yellow flag. And it was legitimately just a racing incident. Nobody should be mad at Lewis. Nobody should be mad at George. It is nobody's fault. It was just a racing incident, right? Well, So, because George went on the inside trying to pass Lewis, and then George goes late on the brakes, but Lewis was like on the outside, and just with the way that they were positioned when George went late, and Lewis was like trying to turn, boom, they hit, whatever, right? Lewis said, car crossed right in front of me. There was another car in front of me, so I had no front end. Like
Okay,
Lewis
wait,
had nowhere
for
to
a
go.
minute. This is where the German commentary, after George got out on the gravel, he said a bunch of stuff. He went off on his team.
Yes.
I'll send it to you if I can find it. He went
Oh, I have it
off on,
screen recorded.
oh, okay. He went off on
Um,
his team, and it's not shown on F1 TV because then it just goes back to the race. But on the German commentary, it has everything that he said, and it's not bleeped. It's
and it's
crazy.
not bleeped. And a lot of times on like Twitter and stuff, apparently somebody on Twitter, they were trying to take it down, like on Twitter and on Instagram for stuff for like copyright reasons. So this gets taken down, we'll just put it back up. But part of the problem is okay, so part of the problem is that George does not have straight line speed, and he told Hoda this in Austria, and he's just not as
Austria.
fast.
That was crazy.
Yeah. Like he told
No,
people
the way
that
you said it made me
because that's how you say it.
rethink.
And in the UK too, I believe.
Hmm.
That's a big part of the issue here. And Toto didn't listen and was like, no, it's not that. It's the driver. To the point that George was like, maybe it is me, and got like borderline gaslit into believing that it's like
It's
genuinely
like
his fault. And
It's like that
he
scene
like,
from Rio where she's like, wait, this isn't my fault. You're
yeah,
right. It's your
it's
fault.
your fault. And like he was trying karting techniques, trying
Yeah.
to like figure out what the hell was going on.
Also, das dachte ich, diese F-Wörter soll er sagen. Ja, also das hat man ja gesehen, wie ein.
That's just lap one.
That was lap one, and he was out because he doesn't have any. I'm fine.
Anyway, lap
To be
two.
fair, after this race was really boring for me.
Yeah.
Because George wasn't there, and they only
Yeah.
ever talk about the stupid fucking front field.
Yeah. Lap two, Esteban stopped because he had a front puncture on his tire. He made contact with Ollie, just like that
just a
much.
wee bit. They had him in a 10.8-second pit stop.
That is god awful.
That's horrible. Like,
wake your ass up,
genuinely,
boss.
guys, please. It should not take that long to change a tire. Lap three. Well, now I'm depressed.
I'm depressed.
There was lap four was when the safety car for George was done.
Gabby was in
see.
P9 at lap 5. So
Gabby was
mind
kind
you,
of
he
always
started
in P9.
he started in P9 after quali, which is actually really good for him.
Yeah.
Um,
I didn't realize that he was in P9. I hadn't paid that much attention to the starting grid. And so I was like, oh yay, Gabby's in P9, not realizing that was like where he was basically the entire time. But he got points this weekend, so hell yeah.
yeah.
Apparently, oh yeah, also speaking of people who did great this weekend, Arvid did great, and
Oh, yeah.
Isaac got to P6 from P22. Okay.
That's
Lando also
insane.
Lando went from like P13 to like P2 or whatever. Like locked in, okay?
Yeah.
All like I voted for Isaac for driver of the day because he deserved it. But anyway,
Charles and Oscar tapped, and there was a very brief yellow flag. And there was damage to the right side forward floor of Oscar. I have a note for this later. He didn't know what the part of his car that came off was called. So in the press conference after the race, the interviewer goes, "What do you think was missing from this race?" And he went, "A few pieces of my car."
icon.
Because he's so unserious. And then she was like, "Do you know what parts of your car fell off?" And he was like, "Side thingy." And then he was like, "I probably shouldn't say that. There's a name for that. The side thingy."
No, you know what? I do think it's really funny when like legitimate professional drivers forget the names for things on their car. Like that's funny.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's hilarious.
Franco and Gabby were having their own little like duel, and I don't know why, but I envisioned like tiny little action figures of Franco and Gabby like actually fighting.
It was beautiful. And they were on like the little tiny screen, and I was really upset about it because they were like duking it out, and it looked so much more interesting than what was going on in front of me.
Yeah.
Lap 15. Oh, hey, they're finally fixing Carlos's wing. Mind you, this is like 8 laps after Carlos's wing was literally hanging off his car. And then Carlos goes, I didn't approve the front wing change, but anyway, the front wing was fine. It's the floor. I was like, Carlos,
help.
I don't think that your front wing was fine. Like
he's just like everything's broken. It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. Lap 17, praise Jesus, they're talking about the midfield. because the Racing Bulls were fighting, and like Liam and Arvin
Pierre's
were
just
like fighting, trying to like
yeah.
get the position, and Pierre, they were like, and Pierre is just stood back watching.
I always just think it's funny when there's like two cars that are like absolutely duking it out, and then there must be just like one guy that's just like behind them, just sitting there being like, "This is so entertaining."
Getting into my stuff, but
Lap
that's
18
okay.
virtual safety car. Nobody knows why. Oh, never mind. It's for debris again.
Which is a hilarious note. Let's see. Lewis got mad because he couldn't pit, but it literally wouldn't have mattered anyway. They like the VSC, the virtual safety car happened, and then Ferrari didn't have him like come in and pit, and he was like really pissed off about it, but it ended so fast that like it wouldn't have actually given him an advantage. So like doesn't really matter. Um Lap 20, Lando in third, I'm impressed. Another VSC, they're calling both the Ferraris in. Disaster struck. Okay,
Oh
Lewis was not
yeah,
having a great weekend. The light goes green, and one of the mechanics like didn't get back fast enough, and Lewis, I think, ran him over like a tiny bit, but at minimum,
yeah.
like bumped him back and like kind of into one of the other mechanics, and they like caught him,
I
and
think what
he,
happened was he still had his hand on the tire, which could be really bad because then if your hand gets sucked around, it could like dislocate your shoulder. I think he had like one hand on the wheel and then one hand on like the wheel gun,
yeah,
and then Lewis started going and he didn't pull back far enough, so his hand went like a little bit forward and he kind of went like, and then
yeah,
they pulled it back. And Lewis felt really bad because he was like, after he left, he was like, "Fuck, is he okay?"
yeah,
Which
he
he
was fine.
was. Also
He
the
was fine.
commentators after Charles came out of the pit, they go, "Where's the Ferrari? Where's the Ferrari? There's the Ferrari. There's the Ferrari." And I thought that sounded like them reading a children's book about F1.
I could write an F1 children's book. It can't be that hard.
Yeah.
It can't. I'm.
Checo's
It can't be that difficult.
like it really can't.
I like read books to my brother. Children's books do not seem that difficult to write.
No, they're not. I've always said I could write I can't illustrate a children's book, but
No.
I can write one for sure.
I could not illustrate a children's book in a million years, but I could write one, I think.
I know there's like the ABCs of F1 because that's easy, but there's got to be more out there. Anyway,
I could write a
Checo's
book
out
about
and
I could
nobody
write a
knows
children's
why.
book about
Yeah,
Lewis Hamilton.
yeah.
I could do
Checo's
that.
yeah. I don't
Anyway,
know when this was. Checo's out. Nobody knows why.
I didn't know why because they stopped mentioning it. They've stopped mentioning it because it's normal.
He just disappears from the leaderboard, and you're just like, oh,
All right, bye. Lap 24, apparently Lewis needed a new front wing and they didn't put one in so that he could barely turn the car. Um,
yo,
lap
flat
27,
27. Tires don't work.
tires don't work. I think it's okay. By the way, for the longest time, I was like convinced that in F1 their tires is spelled with a Y and not an I, but sometimes they spell it with an I. So is that like
I
a
think
British
it's a
spelling?
British thing. I think it is. It's like how they spell
Okay.
color with a U, or like certain words with an S instead of a Z. I think it's like that.
Oh, okay. So I've just gotten more and more European
I
because of this.
I've thought that I also didn't know what that was about because when you started spelling tire that way in the script, I just followed after you because I was like, it's just like an F1 term. I'm pretty
Still,
sure
yeah.
it's a British thing because in the book you got me, Will Buxton is British and he spells it with a Y. But then I feel like if you're looking at like American commentating of F1, they
They
spell
spell
it
it
with
with
an
an
I.
I. So
So
I
I think
think
it's
it's
a British
just,
thing.
you know
I'm
what?
gonna ask I'm gonna
Oh.
ask a certain someone if it's spelled with a Y there.
No, they do spell it with a Y.
Oh, okay, period.
That's why they do spell it with a Y. And do you know why that is? It's because like why we spell things differently. It's because printing is like expensive.
Yeah.
And so back in the day, like each letter cost money, and so they removed the unnecessary letters and sometimes they like changed them to less expensive letters that like still sounded the same.
Yeah.
Like that's why we don't have U in color. Um anyway,
Anyway.
also lap 27, Lance was out for some reason. The reason probably being that he's driving an Aston Martin. Um,
Hmm.
in pit, mind you, there's like that tiny little screen, and on the like leaderboard, it just said in pit, and the tiny little screen was just showing him being like wheeled back into his garage. And I did rant about this to Chloe the other day, but I think, and maybe this is insane,
Oh,
I
I did listen to that voice note. I was trying to figure out if I
yeah,
listened to it the other day because I saw your note, and then I was like, I did listen to that, and I think I was walking around my house aimlessly while I was listening to that.
I think that Lance should leave Aston Martin. And
Yeah.
I mean this so sincerely. I think, and even like literally any other team, okay? Even
Mm-hmm.
like literally any other car that can actually finish a race, I want to see how he does.
Yeah.
because I've never been,
Then the
I don't
world
know
will
what
know
his
once and for
numbers
all if he's a
were.
bad driver or if he's just in a shit car.
And here's the thing is I wasn't a fan like before this like section. Like I've never been a fan when Aston Martin was good. And I've never been a fan where like I've been able to see Lance in like an actually good car if Aston Martin never actually had a good car. Um and like he hasn't always like done great, but he was at least finishing races in the
Yeah.
prior Aston Martin, like before the new regulations. And I want to see how he does in like literally any other car because I think part of the problem is that his dad thinks that he is setting his son up for success because he's the CEO of the team and so he can keep his son on the team
Hmm.
for however long he wants. But actually, I think that it is sapping away Lance's enjoyment of F1, which is in turn making him a worse driver. Like,
Yeah.
you need to have a reason to get out of bed in the morning and like something about your life that you should like your job at least to some
Hmm.
degree or find something that you like about it because that makes it a lot easier to do. And I think Lance no longer has that. And I actually think that part of the problem is that he's stuck at Aston Martin.
Yeah.
His father and Lawrence Stroll, I'm sorry to break it to you, but you are unintent. You think that you are doing the best for your son, and maybe in the beginning you were, but you need to let him leave.
Yeah. Anyway,
Anyway, um,
we're almost done with the race. Lap
lap
30.
30.
I don't want any yo-yo racing with Oscar. I'll explain why later. Lando's engineer.
I would love to hear that explanation.
No,
Sorry.
right?
I would. What is on my. Oh, it's the stupid little heart mirror things. I would love to hear an explanation as to why we're doing that.
Yeah.
I would
Franco
love to know the reason.
Franco passed Pierre and Liam in one move. It was insane. I also want to add that the World Cup final was on the same day of the race. So Carlos walked in his Spain jersey
Yep.
and Franco walked in his Argentina jersey.
Which had to have been
Obviously,
awkward. Which
yeah.
had to have been just a little
Obviously,
awkward.
after that race, the game was already over with the time difference because the race was at, or no, I guess it wouldn't have been because the race was at
No.
7 a.m. my time and the game was at 1 p.m. my time. So never mind. So they both
Yeah.
probably were able to watch the race.
He was saying
Clearly,
that he didn't want to go home, or at one point he said like either he didn't actually want to go home with Charles, or that like he didn't want Charles to get a podium because he didn't want Ferrari celebrations on the plane ride home with Charles because Carlos was going to be, he was like, I'm going to be trying to watch the race.
oh yeah, that makes
Do you
sense
have a
though.
T-Mobile logo on your shirt?
Yeah, it's my dad's marathon shirt.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
um, Lando's pit lane was oh yeah, Franco passed Pierre and Liam in one move. It was beautiful.
Beautiful.
Lando's pit stop was absolute booty hole. The left rear wing, the left rear wheel gun like didn't work. It was booty.
Look, and I would love to hear the explanation for that.
Yeah.
Someone let me be like a fly on the wall in the driver
Hmm.
debrief for every team. Oh my goodness. Lap 31, this was just me saying that Isaac went from 22 to P6, which deserves repeating.
Yeah.
Lap 32, Antonelli's task is to inflict more pain on the other side of the garage. Fucked up thing to say. Um
He's completing that task because
on,
he's back in P1.
on lap 34, I did say he was completing that task, and you know what? He was, and he did.
And then
I
also
can't be mad about that. Like,
lap 34, Oscar Piastri has his mirrors full of Lewis Hamilton. Girl, please.
why? You know what? Sometimes they really do say certain things, and I just have to
Yeah.
consider why. Um, let's see. Lap 41, Kimmy got reminded of track limits because he already had like at the time he had like two track
Yeah.
limit warnings because that boy cannot stay in track limits to save his
No,
life.
for real.
Kimmy P1, then Charles, then Max.
Now this is where we do my silly stuff that I get from that one account. Max in the cooldown room, Max was watching when Charles and Oscar collided, and he did a full like, damn, like that was happening, and I had no idea. And then Kimmy started laughing about it, and Charles was like this.
Yeah.
And then Charles just went, it was calculated. um, and then I talked about Oscar did not know what part of his car fell off, so
You talked.
they were like, what's missing? A few parts of my car. What part of your car? The sideboard thingy?
Who knows, bro?
And then he was like, I shouldn't call it that. That's what goes in your hallway. Australians call a cupboard or a cabinet. I know it's because my childhood best friend is Australian. A little like side table thingy when you walk into your house where you put your keys, that's a sideboard.
Oh.
So he was like, nope, I shouldn't call it that. That's something that goes in your front hallway.
All right then.
Anyway.
Australians are weird. That's the
Yeah.
moral of that story. Australians are fucking weird. Oh my God, I need to stop swearing. My
Anyway.
absolutely non-existent New Year's resolution. Anyway, that is all that we have for you today.
Make sure to like this video, subscribe to Spotify and YouTube, and like our Instagram reels, and also follow us everywhere at Ithaca Cool Down Room.
We will see you next week for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Until then, have a beautiful week. Mwah.
Mwah.